Good morning, people. Welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. And for some reason, my speaker system isn't working over there. I just got to tell you how much I hate live. I don't change any settings, and then I come in and everything. And I do. I actually test this stuff in the morning, but you guys can hear it. It's just that my podcast cannot hear the sound effects for whatever reason. It's not loud on my board either. My whole board seems not loud. I don't hear myself at the right volume, and that is absolutely nerve-wracking. Oh wait, I think I got the volume now. Anyway, good morning, folks. Oh my goodness, I am 58 years young. I'm 58. I'm 58 today. I'm damn near 60. No. Nobody wants to be 60. You just don't want to be. You want to stay young, forever. 60, I'm fat now. I get tired easy. Can't walk up the stairs like I used to. I can still get some, just in case somebody thought I couldn't get any. I can get some still, but it's not like the 5 or 6 or 7 hours at a time I used to get it, Now I'm lucky to do 4.5 hours straight. It's just sad. I'm a shadow of the man I once was, physically. Used to be I'd slap a MF in the mouth in a heartbeat. You say something crazy to me, I might just clap! What the hell did you say? Now I have to think about it. I'm gonna let you slide, bro. It's different. It's different when you're 58. It's different. I feel different this morning. I guess I'll go ahead and fill out the AARP card. I've been fighting that since I was 50, fighting the AARP card. So I still got a fine woman though. Even when you're 58, you got to keep a fine woman that's at least 11 years younger than you. I get so mad when they go after these congressmen and stuff. He was talking to a woman 20 years his junior. So who cares? I ain't fixed to talk to nobody my age. No, well, I have to take that back. I have seen some videos of some well-preserved prehistorics out there. Well-preserved prehistorics. Tia's here in the office, and so whenever Tia comes to the office, I have to let out the her little cot she put in here, because she can't sit up in the office like everybody else. She's got to be the queen and lay down. I told her not to get prehistoric on me. I ain't playing. But I guess I'm a prehistoric relic as well. I've been well pickled. I'm pickled over here. I've got the pickled bronze skin. I'm going to dye this right here. I'm dyeing this back black. I'm fixing to dye this, get my diet on. But I'm happy. Sven says he fears 46 coming up. Bro, if I could be 46 again. Good morning, Barry Gibson. I think screen 2 is working. Yeah, screen 2 is working. So it's kind of working. This the scroller's not working. I got to actually come over here and scroll. But Donna Ryder's on, Hellfighter Steve, DJ Vegas, Jamis Davis Law, Lissa Lay. I finally, I don't know why I was calling her Lisa for all this time. It clearly says Lissa. That's clearly Lissa. Short for Melissa, I believe. Lissa's on. I want to thank Lissa and all those that sent flowers to my brother's funeral down there. Stanley Fisher, Vince Colonna, Papa Renegade, all my good friends, Just Rudnick, good morning. Bill McCaslin, Robert Hart, Dino Rider 91, Monday morning motovlog. Good morning. Where is, I don't see Motorhead Moto Grupo, Motorhead Moto Club now. There's Finn over there in the Black Forest over in Germany. We see you. Thank you for my happy birthday wishes, Finn. Jammin' Rooney. Nitro, the clown, is on. All my good people, man, over here on Screen 2. Now Screen 2 is scrolling. Look at that. What's wrong with computers? Well, this didn't work a second ago. You saw that. We're recording a new kind of way now. If you're looking at this, this is how we're recording the podcast right now until I can figure out what's going on our podcast app. We have the podcast app, and the podcast app has got the podcast seriously popping and all this kind of stuff. That my folks let me know that it was popping and hissing, and I'm trying to get that app figured out with Spreaker. This is the app here that actually records the show, and it doesn't come up. Look at that. You gotta wonder what the hell is wrong with the computer. But this is the show app that I was typically using, and for whatever reason, it's not working. It's some kind of and there's not like a whole bunch you can do here. I mean, you can just select a microphone, select how you want it to sound that way, and that's it. There's no adjustments here. So if the filter isn't working, it's on them to fix it, because there's nothing you can do on the damn thing. So anyway, until then, we're using this wonderful free application called Audacity, and with Audacity you can still so you guys can't hear me live on the radio. You have to just pick it up later. But we will get it fixed. We will figure out what's going on with this. If we have to, we'll just tape live off of the web session that they have. So this is only going to be down for a little while. I just thought I would, I don't know, explain to you guys all of my issues that we have with recording live. But we bought the best equipment money can buy, and yet here we are with this stuff. If you guys haven't purchased the WeMC shirt, the Motorcycle Club is not about I, it's about we. Please go to blackdragonsgear.com and get you one. Yeah, get you one. And also, you can find us Monday through Friday at 7-ish here on Black Dragon Biker TV on YouTube, Facebook, and we're on weekdays on Instagram TV, and our online podcast, The Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos. We've got gear at blackdragonsgear.com, and our online news magazine is, what is it? Oh, bikerliberty.com. Yeah, so check us out on all our great places, and we would absolutely appreciate that. Like and follow our channel here on YouTube and Facebook, and remember, we are on a 90-day suspension on Facebook until they start sharing the channel again. So if you're on Facebook, if you don't share us, we don't get shared. If you're not getting our follows, if you're not getting the recommendations for our videos, it's because we've been put on punishment. But in 90 days, we'll be off punishment. Thank you, guys. All right. So here we are. First story of the day. You guys remember DMX from Ruff Ryders? DMX is in the hospital. And so what does that have to do with biker news? Well, the ruff-ryders-bike-club pays tribute to DMX outside the hospital. So one of the biggest biker clubs, and I don't know if the Ruff Ryders is a motorcycle club. I've often heard them say that they're a motorsports club, And then I've seen some folks that have Rough Riders MC on their back. And so I don't know if they're a sport club, biker club, motorcycle club, riding club. I don't know what their delineation is. I'm sure somebody, obviously some of my subscribers would be Rough Riders, and they'll be able to tell us, because my subscribers know everything. So they'll be able to tell us over there what the Rough Riders are. But we know that the Rough Riders ride motorcycles. They have a lot of divisions. Like they got a dog division, like pit bulls and stuff like that. I've heard through the years. They've got a lot of divisions within their groups. But one of the biggest divisions they have is that they ride motorcycles. And in the old days, in the 2000s, they were some of the baddest ass stunters around, especially with a brother named Wink that I worked with in the movie Biker Boys. And that's when I first became aware of the Rough Riders, is when I did the movie Biker Boys. And I was a technical advisor, and my job was to do a whole bunch of things, like find stunt riders, and I did so many things. And so one of the things was we went and got these Rough Rider guys out of New York that were riding wheelies and all this. And the guy Wink was the double for the main character, Kid, in the story. And I got to meet him and hang out with him and this crazy group of people known as the Rough Riders. And in the 2000s, when we were all young, everybody was wild. We had the Dirty South Slab Riders here in Atlanta. We would these bros, Crazy D and the bros. These guys would get on the highway and ride on. It's common now, but it wasn't common back then. They'd stand up on that back wheel, pull that wheelie up, sit on the handlebars, and just ride for 2, 3, 4 miles down the road at 100 miles an hour, sitting on the handlebars with the front tire up in the air at 12 o'clock, scraping the back of the motorcycle and making sparks come off. And we did all of that stuff in the movie Biker Boys, and it was all brought on by the stunts these wild kids were doing. So I knew that that DMX had something to do with the creation of the Rough Riders, but never really in detail, because we never really spoke about him. But as rapper DMX remains in the hospital after suffering, and they say, a heart attack on Friday, the 2nd of April, footage has emerged of the Rough Riders Motorcycle Club outside the White Plains Hospital in New York to pay tribute. So I don't know why this was titled Los Angeles Rough Riders Pay Tribute, but here we are. The videos show his music playing while bikers gather at the entrance. I can't play the video because his music's playing, and so they would hit the video for playing his music. So I just have to show you the pictures. The video shows his music playing while the bikers gather at the entrance to the hospital in support of DMX. Some of them can be seen wearing Rough Riders gear. The Rough Riders Motorcycle Club was developed by DMX in the early 2000s. The artist is currently still on life support machine in the ICU, but Fox 5 News, I guess Fox 5 News is probably, or New York's, okay. Fox 5 New York's Lisa Evers reports that a family member said he is very much alive. DMX's family said in a statement on Saturday the 3rd of April, "We are issuing this statement to combat all the false and misleading reports that are circulating on social media." Last night, Earl DMX Simmons, his real name is Earl Simmons, Earl's DMX Simmons was rushed to the hospital after collapsing at home. At this time, he remains in ICU in critical condition. And Earl has been a warrior his entire life, the family says. The situation represents yet another road he must cross. The Simmons family appreciates the overwhelming outpouring of heartfelt love, encouragement, support, and prayers for Earl. And Earl is someone whose life and music has been a source of inspiration and strength to so many people around the world. And I must absolutely say that he has been a source of inspiration for me, especially back in the 2000s when I was riding. And I can remember riding. This is when I was doing my biggest cross-country rides ever. I was a young man. I could ride forever in that saddle. And sometimes when I would get too sleepy to ride, I would turn his music on and bump to it and bump myself awake riding on those roads. Because back then I used to like to ride through the night, especially when you're on 40. The best time to be on 40 is at night, because if you're on 40 on the East Coast, you're on a raggedy, two-lane, bumpy, full congested highway from about Oklahoma east. And you got the trucks, one driving 55 and one driving 58, trying to pass each other. And you just sit up there in that hot sun and you bake while the traffic is congested. And there's always construction. And it doesn't matter, you pop down to the 20, or if you pop on down to the 10, it's still nasty on the East Coast. The I-22 corridor you live for the I-22 corridor. When you get out of Memphis, you get on the I-22 corridor heading to Birmingham. Oh, you can fly down there, baby. But it takes so long to get there. In the old days, there was no I-22 corridor. You had to go through Birmingham and that back road to get to was it 78 or 20? You had to go this whole back way to get there. It was horrible. But I would play this guy's music, DMX's music, and it was so hard and bumpy and grinding. Alex B says DMX is a lowlife. DMX has multiple arrests, for offenses including resisting arrest, animal cruelty, reckless driving, unlicensed driving, drug possession, and identity falsification. Identity falsification? I mean, are we really going there? I think just about every kid I ever knew when I was in the Navy was using identity falsification to get into a nightclub before they were 21. But we try not to dog people out too bad, bro, that are on life support and can't defend themselves. The Simmons family appreciates the overwhelming outpour of love. It's reassuring to see his fans return and the same passion and energy during his time of need. Fox 8 reports that a vigil is being planned for today, 5th of April, outside the hospital. Yesterday, 4th of April, DMX's lawyer said he is worried after giving an update on the rapper's condition, although it was initially reported that by some outlets that he had been taken off life support. His attorney, Murray Richmond, later said he was misinformed, confirming he was still in grave condition after suffering a heart attack at home at around 11 p.m. on Friday, 2nd of April. Richmond told WABC, I received a call this morning that Earl Simmons was in the hospital at the White Plains Hospital, and he had a reported heart attack. I'm not sure how it was induced, and that he's on life support. I've spoken to the family, and the family and I are quite close with each other. I am concerned about his well-being and mindful of his significance. I have known Earl for over 25 years, and I believe that his music is quite poignant, very important, and he's truly a poet of his time. Now, of course, this man has had problems with alcohol abuse and drug abuse. I mean, it's been all over the papers. I don't see addiction as such a criminal thing. I see addiction as a disease, and I'm as square as they come. I don't even drink alcohol, and I've never been high a day in my life. I've never even smoked a joint or toked it or whatever you guys call it. I don't smoke blunts, none of that kind of stuff. I don't even smoke cigars all that well. So I haven't had an addiction to drugs, and most of the people around me. I was in the United States Navy in the PRP, Personnel Reliability Program, dealing with nuclear weapons. So my young years, I was piss testing at least once a month. And in the submarine navy, if you're dealing with nuclear weapons, you get a DUI or you get popped on a piss test, and your entire career is over. They put you out of the Navy, gone, especially if you're in one of those top secret forces. So that wasn't a issue for me, and I haven't known too many since my friends were doing the same things I was doing. I didn't have friends that were generally getting high, so I can't say that I really know of a addiction story. Wasn't born to an addicted mother, or any of those things that are make great stories. But I have known people throughout my life that have been lifelong addicted, and some of the things they go through are really quite sad. Um, and so, when we sit and we look down on people, and I don't know that it was an addiction or it was an overdose. That was reported on all these channels and stuff like that. I have it all over screen one here. All these places that have made all these reports. I don't know if it's true or not. The family says a heart attack. Who knows what it was induced by? But if it was from an addiction issue, this guy's been going through this for a long damn time, a lifetime. And I don't think people wake up wanting to be addicted. So just feel for the guy if that's the issue. Feel for him anyway. He's laid up in the hospital, and he has been arrested, and like one of the readers says, he's had many issues. Um, uh, he's even been called a lowlife from one of my subscribers. Uh, yeah, addiction leads to a lot of things, and a lot of addicted people wind up in prison. They do some pretty awful stuff. Now, the worst one I remember is I had my karate instructor was a fifth degree black belt when I was a kid. He was he was a man with one leg, and he had this prosthetic leg that he would kick people with and damn near kill them when he hit them with that leg. But his brother went to jail for rape and became addicted in prison. And when he got out of prison, he was severely addicted, and he actually killed his grandmother, who was a very upstanding lady in Oklahoma City. She owned a daycare center. She was very well known. And he went over to get some money for his drugs, and she wouldn't give it to him. He pushed her down, and she died. It's sad when you push somebody down and they die. You didn't mean that. And his brothers, my karate instructor, had to go get their brother and beat him up pretty good, and then they took him and turned him into jail. So this addiction thing is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And we see it. I mean, we see it with like Michael Jackson said he was addicted. The golfer Tiger Woods has been addicted. Prince died from addiction. Michael Jackson died from an addiction for some reason he felt like he needed this kind of drug that puts people to sleep for surgeries. It's crazy. And we've got to do more about it to help addicted people rather than just throwing them in jail all the time. At the end of the day, I've heard lots about DMX2, but I don't know the man personally, and he's riding on twos representing his crew, so I got mad respect. We're bikers, not choir members. That's bikers, not choir boys. I love it. We are bikers, not choir boys. And we all have an addiction to something. To me, it's find women on the internet. You know, my woman won't even open my phone anymore. She's like, no, no, no. Honey, can you hand me that phone? Hell no. I'm tired of seeing ass pop up on your phone. It's ridiculous. You're addicted. You got a problem, man. John Williams says, thank you, DMX. He gave us so many anthems. And I didn't know of DMX's personal problems when I was listening to his music. All I know is I was bumping my ass off. And John Williams, I kind of agree with that. Good morning, Aunt Squirrely. That way not legal to publish that kind of information over here, says Finn. Oh, they have rules on the media in Germany, Finn? They need that over here. It's all right you don't smoke weed, my big brother. I'll smoke your share. I think when they legalize it, I might do it one time to see what it's all about. I'm afraid to smoke weed. I'm afraid something that happened to me. I told you, you know, they called me One Can in the Navy, One Can John, because I drank a can of beer and I went to sleep. I didn't pass out, nor was I drunk, but I picked up this name, One Can. I was sleepy. I drank a can of beer and went to sleep. And I was One Can for years after that. One Can. And so anyway, was he a Rough Rider? I don't know. Well, he started the Rough Riders, they say in this article, and I just remember hanging out with so many very cool Rough Rider guys, and I remember those guys were crazy on two wheels. So we are we hope the best for him here on the channel. We hope the best for him, and I hate to see anybody laid up in intensive care and we don't know whether it's going to kill him or not. Somebody said New York just passed it as a recreational drug, and I think that if we decriminalize a lot of what's going on with marijuana and other kinds of drugs, if we decriminalize it, there'll be a lot of jails and cops and stuff that won't have a living to make, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of retirement funds that'll be hit, because it's so sad that so many retirement funds are invested in American jails that are privately run, which is bad. If you got a privately run system, you got to have a way to put people in it, and it just becomes a revolving door. Anyway, we want to send our prayers and our shouts out for the DMX and Rough Riders family, and the DMX his family, and all the folks. I want to make sure that I find his name so I can say his name again. Earl Simmons. We want to definitely send our prayers and our shouts out. Hopefully, this man that has provided so much entertainment and happiness for folks can get a better life. A federal appeals court has rejected two Concord area convicted meth traffickers' bid for either a new trial or more lenient sentences. San Francisco. Here we go. A federal appeals court has rejected two Concord area convicted meth traffickers' bid for either a new trial or lenient sentences, court records show. Concord resident Donnie Phillips, 67, and Clayton resident 67. Oh my God! And Clayton resident Gordon Miller, 63, were sentenced to 25 and 20 years respectively for methamphetamine distribution in 2018. In a case where prosecutors described Phillips as a middleman and Miller as a higher-up in a large-scale meth trafficking ring. The charges stem from a 2015 undercover investigation by DEA. A third defendant, Phyllis Mosher, agreed to plead guilty to meth sales charge and accepted a 15-year prison sentence before her trial. She admitted to selling the methamphetamine that she'd acquired from Phillips directly to an undercover agent. I'm just trying to figure out what this has to do with biker news. I got this on Hollywood's off his page, HarleyLiberty.com, and sometimes he just reports on drug dealers. I think that's what this is. So I didn't, forgive me for not reading over this one before. I normally read over them if I'm not running late. So I think this is one of Hollywood's just talking about drug dealers things. You got to check out Hollywood on HarleyLiberty.com. We check him out every day. So go check him out. And he has a show that comes on at 8 a.m. Central Time. And he's up there in Chicago. Outlaws Motorcycle Club leader fatally assaulted. Okay, so now we're back to biker news. The wife of Outlaws Motorcycle Club leader fatally assaulted near his Napier pad, says a flat car battery. So a flat car battery means a battery that's not charged up. So that's how they say that in Australia. A flat car battery that forced him to take his bike to work may have cost him his life. I think this is Australia. Peter Liu died following an assault by two people in Mercy Street in Pandora, Napier, about 1:20 p.m. on Monday. The police have launched a homicide investigation, but no arrests have been made to date. They believe it's an isolated incident. That's crazy. They believe that the Outlaws biker was killed not by a targeted kill. Like this wasn't one of those things where he had enemies out to get him. And this is why. They believe it was like this isolated attack that could have happened to anybody. So his wife, Kelly Cook, told Hawke's Bay today that Lou had returned from to the pad on his lunch break from work as a switchboard maker at Falcon Electrical when the attack took place. Cook believes that the murder was opportunistic, as only herself and Lou knew he was going to be riding his motorcycle to work that day because the car battery was dead. Someone has seen a biker, and that's it, she said. But if they had known who he was, it would have been different. This was a random attack. He wouldn't normally be on his bike, so it couldn't have been planned, and he didn't have any enemies. Cook said her husband, a father of three, will be remembered as a much-loved and hard-working family man. Lou, who was also known as China, had been involved with the Outlaws Motorcycle Club for over 40 years and held the title of the club's national president. He is the longest serving member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club in New Zealand. That's where he is. And dedicated most of his life to them. The Outlaws MC was formed in Illinois, USA in 1935, established in Napier more than 50 years ago. International affiliates of the Outlaws MC took to social media to share their condolences, with the Essex UK chapter posting, "Ride free in the Forever chapter, brother." Tributes from Ireland and Stuttgart, Germany have also been shared. Cook says international outlaw members are set to hold a minute silence for her late husband around the world. Paramedics worked at the scene to stabilize him for more than an hour, but he died at Hawke's Bay Hospital. Cook says she remains confident the public nature of the attack will lead to the arrest of the perpetrator. A funeral service is due to be held at Napier's War Memorial Center on Tuesday. Cook said Lou, an electrician by trade, loved the Outlaws, but equally loved his family and his work. I don't think the two men who've done this realize they've completely devastated my life. No, and they don't care. That's why they're criminals. They don't care whose life they destroy, and hopefully they will be caught. But she said that she doesn't even know what they've done, if they've even realized how they devastated her life and her family's lives. He was a brilliant husband and stepfather to my girls. He would be the first person to help anybody. He had a lot of respect for and from a lot of people. So Senior Sergeant Sally Patrick said the police are still actively seeking witnesses to the assault. Police would like to hear from anyone who saw a maroon Holden Commodore. Holden Commodore is the car. In the days prior to the incident, which was located by officers in Seddon Crest Murwa early on Tuesday. Any truck drivers with dashboard cameras in Napier, specifically Pandora and Oniqua, between 12:30 and 2 on Monday are also encouraged to contact the police. And anyone with information regarding the Pandora homicide are encouraged to call 08005555111 or 105 and quote file number 210-329-1374. And you are allowed to submit anonymously. And why do I put that out there is because we do have lots of viewers in New Zealand, and maybe somebody saw something that they want to talk about. Very sad, but I tell you something, they got these cameras, and look how they do it. This is crazy, because they ask any driver of a truck in that area that has a dashboard cam and was operating in a certain area between 2 and 3 p.m. And they can track you based on mathematics of movement, and they can say, okay, if you attacked a guy here at this spot, in 5 minutes, if you were traveling on a motorcycle, you could be here. In 10 minutes, you could be here. If you were traveling in a car, in 15 minutes, you can be here. If you were traveling on foot, in 2 minutes, you could be here. And they can figure out where you would be. And then, after they figure that out, they go look at an area from somebody's dash cam, and they'd be like, there's the suspicious person right there. And then they get the license plate and all that. There's so much stuff on cameras these days, especially in the UK and places like that, big cities like New York, that you just almost can't get away. This is the first live that I ever got out of bed for. Got to go to work. Peace out, everyone. Take care, No. Thanks for getting out of bed for it. I hope we met your expectations. An officer, father of 2, killed in an Easter weekend motorcycle crash. That's sad. We hate to hear that. This is in the New Jersey area, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. In Phillipsburg, New Jersey, a police officer died tragically. He left a wife and 2 children behind just a day before Easter. The department shared on the news on its Facebook page, saying the department is in mourning the loss of one of our own. Officer Dominic Belcastro was tragically killed in an off-duty motorcycle accident on April 3rd, 2021. He leaves behind a loving wife and 2 beautiful daughters. The post goes on to say, to make donations, please make checks payable to the PBA Local 56. All donations will go directly to the Belcastro family. So if you guys want to make a donation for this downed officer and biker, Dominic Belcastro, number 320. I'm not sure what the number 320, that's probably some sort of union thing. Make checks to payable to the PBA Local number 56 at Post Office Box 67, Phillipsburg, New Jersey 08865, and that would be a way to help out over there if you are so inclined. Another motorcycle crash in Ozark, Alabama. This weekend, this Easter weekend, has been devastating for our bikers out here. A Daleville man died in a motorcycle crash in Ozark Saturday night around 7 p.m. Ozark police received an E911 call. I'm not sure what an E911 call is. About a wreck on Highway 123 South near the Ozark Water Treatment Facility, according to Chief Marlos Walker. When police and rescue units at the scene arrived, they found the motorcycle rider, Mr. Joshua Romero, 29 years old, just a baby. It's sad he died at 29. Like, I'm 58. Like, I'm living a whole 29 years past that. He's not going to do so many things now that he died on that motorcycle. Suffering from life-threatening injuries, Romero was taken to Dale Medical Center where he later succumbed to those injuries. Police continue their investigation. Just absolutely very sad. And finally, in my news today, we're going to talk about the driver. You guys remember the driver that killed the 9 bikers of the Jarhead Motorcycle Club? Almost, I guess it was 2 years ago. It was a long, I mean, this guy hasn't got a trial yet. It's been a long time. And recently, my motorcycle club, the Mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, has found out what it's like to see motorcycles sprawled out all across the highway and crumpled bodies wrecked underneath a car. You know, that's always happens to somebody else's motorcycle club until it happens to yours. And so we now share that horror with the Jarheads Motorcycle Club. We now know what that's like. And we lost only one brother, but we had an entire pack taken out. And it's just, it's absolutely crazy frightening to see this sort of thing with bikes spread out everywhere. They're not showing that in this article. But anyway, the kid that did this, initially, he had a whole bunch of stuff going against him, like the improper driver's license, because he'd been found guilty of a DUI. And one thing I found is if you are a professional driver and you get a DUI, it not only affects your personal driver's license, but it affects your professional driver's license. I guess speeding tickets and everything. You're held to a higher standard. So he was not even supposed to be driving. And they found out a lot of things, like the DUI, or the Driver's License Bureau, that was supposed to be sending out information to tell other states that this guy wasn't allowed to drive. They weren't doing their job. So other states never even got the information to deny him the right to deny him the right to drive. That cost an official her job. And they said he crossed over the line. They said he was drunk, driving under the influence, not drunk, but driving under the influence of some kind of drug. And they said he crossed over the line and he hit those bikers. And so, you know, it was terrible, the names he was called. And, you know, he was just set out as this horrible, horrible, horrible drunk, or high, crazed lawbreaker, and the whole biker world hated him. But you have to always be careful of the news headlines, because news makes money on dramatic headlines and half-ass reporting. And if we can get you to look, and then our commercials run on top of that, we get paid for as many eyes as we can bring. That's why I like to try to have biker news you can trust. But since I'm not breaking news in a lot of cases, you know, we're just now getting to the point where we're breaking news. So we're reading the headlines like you are. So we now find, almost 2 years later, that Mr. Vladimir Zhukovsky may not have crossed into the opposite lane of travel, causing the collision at all. And that's very interesting. Amended charges in the New Hampshire motorcycle death say truck driver did not cross into biker's lane. Some of the original indictments stated that Vladimir Zukowski crossed into the opposite lane of travel, thereby causing the collision. A lawyer for the pickup driver charged with causing the deaths of 7 motorcyclists, it wasn't 9, it was 7, in New Hampshire in 2019, entered not guilty pleas Friday to multiple amended charges that no longer accuse him of crossing into their lane. Vladimir Zukowski, 25, of Springfield, Massachusetts, faces multiple counts of negligent homicide, manslaughter, driving under the influence, and reckless conduct in June 21, 2019 crash. The victims, members of the Jarheads Motorcycle Club, were from New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. Zukowski appeared by video for the brief hearing and simply said, "Yes, sir," to affirm that he had heard the judge. So his lawyer plans to, he's been jailed since the crash. He's been jailed for almost 2 years now. His lawyer planned to file another motion to review bail conditions, especially if he was not the one who caused the crash, then perhaps he might get some bail. Zukowski's vehicle was traveling west and the motorcyclists were traveling east on a 2-lane road. A grand jury indicted Zukowski on March 10, alleging that Zukowski caused the collision while driving the truck with an attached trailer. They alleged that he was the one who caused the collision. But some of the original indictments from October 2019 stated that he crossed into the opposite lane of travel, thereby causing the collision, resulting in the death and injuries. But a defense motion filed last year said state police initially determined that Zukowski's flatbed trailer was 1.5 feet over the center line at the time of the impact, but it added that the state disclosed a report from an independent accident reconstruction firm that challenged that assessment. The report said one of the motorcycles was in fact protruding over the center line when the truck struck it, or actually when it struck the truck, according to the motion. So maybe it struck the truck and that caused the accident. Very interesting. Meanwhile, Zukowski's lawyers have challenged the judge's date of November 29 through 30 for jury selection December 1 for a 10-day trial, saying more time is needed for both proceedings. They asked if both could be scheduled for earlier in November. The matter wasn't addressed in court on Friday. The trial has been tentatively scheduled for late June, but lawyers said at a recent hearing that appeared unlikely. So this changes. It changes the game. It changes the game, and I can remember how vehemently we scorned him over here. And the accident may not have been his fault, although that's really not going to matter if he was drunk or under the influence, because he's going to, even if they all ran into him, he was under the influence. He shouldn't have been driving anyway, because he had had a previous DUI and all kinds of driving problems, which he shouldn't have even been in the damn car anyway. But that's going to be something that we're going to see about. Tampa in the house via Philly. Shout out from Jazz One Cafe Internet Radio. Jazz One Cafe Internet Radio, neo soul, hip hop, jazz, R&B. Get over there and check them out. It says Soul Shine Sessions. So sorry for your loss. I mean, what else can you say? I've been down 24 years. I've seen it happen. It's horrible thing to pick up your brothers off the highway. Yes, Bill McCaslin, it is one of the most horrible things I've ever had to do. My wife won't see this, but I'm going to wrap it. Anyway, happy anniversary, Sheila. Thank you for the 5 years. I love you. Yeah, man. Happy anniversary to Sheila and Bill McCaslin. Yeah. And all the people say happy anniversary. Soul Shine Session says prayers to DMX. And thank you for my happy birthday wishes, Rob. So Muhammad El Deeb over there in Egypt, good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Big Locker John, Joker, Big Locker Joker, Tim Mix. Good to see you guys this morning. So that caps my news session today. And I just want to tell you guys that we are so thankful for you tuning in. We need to get some ride out music here. Here we go. I'm Black Dragon, and we are going to be gone for the rest of the morning. We're on Monday through Friday with biker news you can trust. Monday through Friday, 7-ish, about 7-ish. We're on 30 minutes to an hour, just talking about your morning biker news. We're getting ready to come back with the... I haven't done any MC protocol videos for a long time, as I was doing my biker news thing. And since I found out that certain people are pissed off with my protocol videos, you know that means that I must do more of them. You know, we can't have nobody telling us what the hell we're going to do on the internet. Who does that? So, we're going to pound Enter the Black Dragon, and we're going to be getting back to our motorcycle protocol videos, and hopefully we'll have some fun ones, man. Yeah, we're going to have a blast. So be sure to check us out Monday through Friday and Sunday evenings. Now, remember, yeah, Jersey, I see you, brother. Give me a call after this, why don't you? So check us out. We're going to be doing some really cool stuff this summer, and we're going to be hitting you back with the protocol videos again. So I can't wait. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. And get skinny. Love you. Thank you so much for my birthday wishes. Thank you, Mama Ro, for my blanket that you made me. It came right on time for my birthday. Just thank you, everybody. Thankful to the Lord. Thankful to God. Miss Tia no longer has COVID-19. She tested negative. Yeah! Do I have the right? Yeah, she tested negative. So she can be around me now. Because we were about to put that ass on 14-day suspension. Man, I can't believe it. Her whole family got COVID-19 and they just like walked through it like it was nothing. Like COVID-19 means nothing to Miss Tia. They must have that blood type O or something. They just kicked it in the booty like it was nothing. Whole family. Man, they didn't even need no damn, they didn't need no medicine. Like, those are the super spreaders over there. Walking around super spreading. But I'm so glad she's well. And she tested negative. And I'm so happy for her. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Rob says me too. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny, y'all. Dinah Ryder, I hope your brother and sister-in-law get better, man. Mad Dog Leatherneck Nation MC, good to see you guys. Thank you, Cliff Burnett. I just love my birthday, and thank you guys so much. Peace! I know you guys want to spin your hat like that. I know that.